Hi. How you guys doing? Guys, girls, everybody in between. It is me, ClapBack Queen, Joy Sanchez. I am back for another episode. Unfortunately, my guest for tonight, she had to work. Because ClapBack never ends. Like, we gotta adjust, right? Part of the ClapBack is being able to readily adjust to any situation as it occurs and still live your life. And so our guest tonight, I'm actually gonna let y'all see me a little bit better because I really love this yellow. Shout out to Melanie Charles. Hook me up with the Make Jazz Chill Again hoodie. You should get yourself one if you don't have one yet. Stay warm out here in these post-COVID streets, Anyhow, hi everybody watching on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and beyond. Wherever you're at in the world, if you're watching right now, I appreciate you, and you. Thank you so much. It's January 11th. So I hope everybody woke up this morning making a wish. My wish was simply to wake up and continue to thrive in abundance. So I'm happy with that. I'm waiting for my guest. I'm waiting to see if I can snag another guest to talk to. If you want to talk to me, DM me, hit me up, and I will send you the link. You could jump on and we could chit chat about 2021. The first 11 days of the year, it's already popped off. You know what I mean? We still in a pandemic. We had a failed insurrection. I mean, what's next? Like Super Murder Hornets? I feel like Super Mario Brothers are gonna come to life and bring, King Koopa with them. I have no idea what's happening. And I find it real interesting. So when I don't know what to do and I don't know how to fill space, that's why I go to my meditations. And I feel like the one for today is really interesting. I found it interesting. So for January 11th, the quote is from Dr. Harold Bloomfield. When you strengthen your self-esteem, there's no room for jealousy. Woo! Woo! Jealousy is the surest way to get rid of every person you are afraid of losing. When you say I love you, it means I want the very best for you, whether I am included or not. And you must acknowledge any feelings of jealousy to understand what they are. Jealousy is the signpost of the longings in your subconscious mind. It reminds you that what you are longing is also what is also longing for you. There are only two emotions, love and fear. Right? When jealousy comes up, stop and recognize that it's actually a fear raising its ugly head. See, if you allow yourself to be jealous, you cannot love. It's important to acknowledge all your feelings and not beat yourself up for having them. The feelings are not good or bad. They just are. Feelings like jealousy is simply reminding you that you are worthy of the best. And when you remember who you are, the jealousy will dissolve and you will be ready to receive what you want. So the meditation for today is I honor my feelings no matter what they are. Yo, check this out. You understand how powerful that is? What a clapback that is, acknowledging your feelings no matter what they are. A lot of us like to suppress our feelings and act like, like they're not important, or if by acknowledging how you feel that's somehow going to take something away, or people make you feel bad about your feelings, right? When you have feelings, people will be like, oh, you're too sensitive, you're overreacting. It's like, nah, this is just how I feel right now. And we don't realize that the word express means to relieve pressure, right? It means to relieve pressure, and espresso, it relieves, it takes out. To express something is to extract or to let it out, right? Expressions, emotions are meant to be expressed. We're meant to express our feelings and acknowledge them, because when you repress things, what happens? You end up being bitter, you end up being jaded, you end up being blocked on all sides because you refuse to do the work. Like, part of doing the work that we're always talking about as a people and as individuals, part of that work is acknowledging the feelings that we feel. So, for an example, Black women became angry Black women, right? All Black women have this moniker of being angry Black women expressed, but that's part of it is because while it's a little bit true, yes, most Black people are angry. We're not angry all the time, right? And it's society denying the validity of our feelings of justified anger that we should have, that makes everything else be blinded to them. Every other part of us, our happiness, our sexuality, our abundance, our intelligence. Like, when we don't acknowledge the feelings of others, or at least validate them and say, I don't need you to feel what I feel, but I do need you to acknowledge what I feel and validate the fact that I'm allowed to feel it. Now, how I feel it, how I deal with how I feel, that's on me. Right? There's productive ways to deal with how you feel, and there's non-productive ways to deal with how you feel. But if you don't even acknowledge your feelings and allow yourself to express them as you feel them, then all you're doing is blocking your own blessings. You just like standing in your own way. You know what I mean? And that's the ClapBack. Part of ClapBack is not letting anybody, including yourself, block your own blessings. Don't stand in your own way. Acknowledge it. Feel it. What you feel is righteous. You know what I mean? Just don't live in your reality, and don't make your feelings your reality, right? What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is don't act like what you feel is happening to everybody else. That's the problem with white supremacy, right? When was she gonna bring in white supremacy? Right now, right? Part of what is going on right now in the world, a part of the way to correct this imbalance and these injustices is not just by acknowledging how non-white people feel, but checking yourself, white people, because how you feel is not reality. Just because you feel it, your feelings are only your reality, right? They're only happening to you. We witness them through how you express them. I'm angry because you see me huffing and puffing around, right? And I look angry. So she's probably angry. Yeah, I might be angry. But just because I'm angry and I feel angry doesn't mean you feel angry. You might be happy as shit, right? And vice versa. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people don't think about, how white supremacy has been able to be a structure of power that's been maintained for so long by so many people unknowingly participating in these processes, right? In these systems, in these systemic oppressions. Part of it is because white people were made to feel so important that Black people, part of what we did in our own homes was teach our children how to contort ourselves to protect the fragile feelings of white people. Because if somebody can get beat up, somebody can get raped, somebody can get murdered, somebody can get robbed, somebody can be cursed out or hurt in some way because you felt something, that's a problem. And we don't see that, right? That's a part of this whole acknowledging feelings. Acknowledge it. White people, I know y'all angry. I know y'all be angry and upset. But equity, allowing for others to be given equity in a system that's supposed to be fair for all, does not take away from your power at all. So even though in righting all of these wrongs that have been set in place for generations now, right? If you start to if you start to feel like something is being taken away from you because Black people are finally getting equity or being recognized, or anybody that's non-white is finally being able to have their voices heard and their needs met in a country that is based off of the premise of equality and liberty and justice and the pursuit of our own individual happinesses, if you start to feel bad, or you start to feel like you're being robbed, or you start to feel like, hey, maybe I should overthrow the government, check yourself, okay? Recognize that what you feel is not reality. What you feel is not reality. It's just like if you move from West Bumblefuck, wherever, and you move to Brooklyn, to a primarily Black neighborhood like Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, formerly Bushwick, like the parts of Bushwick used to be Black and brown as fuck. Crown Heights used to be West Indian as fuck. East New York, moving into our neighborhoods where we primarily exist, and then bringing your preconceived notions and presumptions with you, your biases with you that the world put on you, these unjust systems that were set up in your favor. If you come to my neighborhood and you feel unsafe, understand that's the place where you need to check yourself and say, oh, but am I safe? Is anybody really trying to hurt me? No one's really trying to hurt you. But if you have a perception that you feel unsafe, don't put that on us. Don't do things or don't express things that make us see that you might be racist, right? Because you feel a way, you applied it to reality. Because pre-COVID, the world told you, white structures of white supremacy taught you that all that matters is how you feel. That how you feel is the most important thing in the world. The problem is that that's not true. How you feel is not reality. It's not. Just because you feel like you see black people, a mass of black people, you feel like you can feel what you feel. But don't apply that shit to reality, to other people's lives, where it makes a huge and uneven impact. Don't come to us. Matter of fact, this is another thing. Don't feel sympathy for us if you can't feel empathy with us. What's that mean? My thoughts and prayers are with you. How about your actions be with us too? Right? Don't now there's all these people that are paranoid because people are actually getting arrested for this failed insurrection, right? So there are folks who feel like it's not fair. I just watched a whole video. There's a great meme up on Instagram right now. Somebody posted of a video of one of the Capitol Hill rioters, right? One of the people that stormed Capitol Hill. He went to get on a plane and the airline kicked his ass off. They would not let him fly. They called him what he was, a domestic terrorist. Yeah, you can't get on his flight. And he came off that flight pissed. Oh man, this is so unfair. They ruined my life. They called me a terrorist. A terrorist, the definition of a terrorist is anybody who seeks to spread terror in any mass population for any reason at all. Right? So this goes back to feelings. 8 years ago, we elected a black man as president, and white people felt away. They felt away. Now we eventually, I don't even know how that happened, but it happened, right? We can't deny that Donald Trump actually was the president. Because even though I never felt like he was presidential material or felt like he understood the laws of the country that he's supposed to be defending. I don't even think this nigga even ever read the Constitution. But just because I feel like that does not mean I was given the right to deny the fact that he was our president. You understand? He's still president of the country I live in. So I had to accept that fact, even though I feel like he shouldn't be. Right? So now we have this insurrection happen where people felt away. They felt like they got stirred because they followed their feelings of it's not fair. I'm supposed to win everything, just like he did. Instead of reading the actual laws or looking at reality, the reality of the fact, the fact of reality is that he legally won this election. And in every legal contesting of this election, right? He was shot down in every legal avenue. So it didn't matter at this point. Now, once y'all started to decide we're gonna storm Capitol Hill, we're gonna try to kidnap senators, we're gonna try to do these things that are actually fucking crimes because you felt robbed. But you weren't robbed. You felt away. You felt like him losing meant that y'all were going to lose something. When in reality, that's not what's happening. Do you see what I'm saying? So getting back to this man that I watched on Instagram talking about, they destroyed his life because he couldn't get on his flight home. He was eventually arrested, right? But that's also the point. This man at no time recognized the reality of the fact that what he did by participating in the rushing of Capitol Hill was a federal crime. It was a felony. It's a felony. It's a felony to enter restricted government areas. It is a felony to destroy government property. It is a felony to carry a weapon, a weapon that's not allowed. Like if you don't have permission to have your gun on Capitol Hill, that is a felony. So this man felt a way, committed felonies, and then because he was going to have to face the consequences of his real actions in reality, right? Because in reality, all these things that he did because he felt a way were actually crimes. And now he feels like his life is being ruined by someone else, right? That is the downside of only living in your feelings. That's what I was saying earlier. Don't make your feelings your reality, because reality and how you feel are not the same fucking thing. I could feel all I want to. I feel upset. I often feel cheated. I often feel like I deserve more than I am getting. But if I made that my whole life, I'd be in jail. Why? Because I would have felt like I had the right to rob somebody, take their money, maybe even murder them, and I probably would have got caught because I'm horrible. I don't commit crime because I'm horrible at it, right? That's the reality. The reality is, I know that murder is a crime. I know that robbing someone, theft is a crime. I know that I know things are crimes that will put me in jail, and therefore, if I commit a crime, regardless of how I feel, I know I'm going to jail. Why? Because that's reality. My actions are based in reality. And this man, along with many, many people that still exist in the world that committed federal crimes, you know what I'm saying? I'm not super pro law, but I am with the idea of what the Republic is supposed to stand for. I am with the idea, with the fact that we all have to start acknowledging our parts in this. You know, it's a world, it's really a world that we live in these days. And best thing I could do is just be here talking to people. I don't know who's watching, so I appreciate y'all for watching. Let me hear you. Who are you? Send me a little comment. Let me know who you are, where you're from. Just so I can say hi more specific. And if there's any questions you have. I was supposed to be talking to somebody today, but like, capitalism never stops. Even during a pandemic, capitalism don't stop. And that's another thing, right? We feel like capitalism is not the problem. We be feeling like democracy is the problem when really it's capitalism that's the problem. I was watching The Blacklist, right? It's about this international criminal who makes a deal with the FBI, so he helps them catch other people on the wanted list, and he gets to pretty much still be a criminal mastermind. So anyway, he got arrested and he was on trial, and he said something that was really interesting that I think truly applies to this moment. That 9 times out of 10, politics wins out over justice. Think about that. 9 times out of 10, politics wins out over justice. Right? The reason politics wins out is the same reason why we have pharmaceutical companies that make medicine to treat a disease instead of cure the disease. It's the same. Do we as Black people have a part in America? Yes, we do. What's up, Prince? We do. I think we do have a part in America. I think our part in America is rebuilding ourselves to be strong and demanding our sovereignty. Whether that means we get to take the whole East Coast. Like, I'm all for reparations in every way, shape, or form. I'm going to get into that in a minute, too. Just let me finish up my thought on what he was saying here. Right? 9 times out of 10, politics wins out over justice. What does that mean? It means that when it comes to it, the ambitions of a politician will always win over whatever the fucking actual law is. Justice for people, like, let's just use these misguided white people, these misguided rioters. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. I bet you most of them will not get arrested. Why? Because the politics of it involves too many people that will expose the brokenness of the system, right? It's the same reason why politics makes it seem like defunding the police is a bad idea, even though it's not. This is the best idea possible, restructuring the way that we actually manage our country, the way that we manage the quote unquote problems that we have in this country, right? Instead of treating everybody like a criminal, treat them like a person. Politics says, nah, that's not cool. We need to keep these people fighting and divided. Think about it. Justice requires unity. Justice requires that we listen to each other. Justice requires that we hear each other and we respect each other, though we have differences. Politics says our differences are so different, it can only be one way or the other. There is no compromise. Just think about the way that politics differs from actual justice. Why? It's the same reason why you could have a videotape of unarmed people being murdered by the same people meant to prevent murders. And those people never get arrested. We don't get justice. I think we as Black people, we do have a part in America. And our part in America is to mind and build our own fucking businesses. Mind your Black business. Live your best Black life. And do it as much as possible outside of capitalism and white supremacy as possible. If you can help to rebuild the Black dollar, the Black economy, the Black education system, there are more than enough talented, educated, innovative, creative, scientific, medical, law. Like there's so many people of color in every single field required to run a successfully equitable country that I think that at this point in time, our part in America is to strengthen Black everything, to strengthen our connection to each other, strengthen our communities, rebuild our communities, defend our own communities, demand our own space, write legislation, and occupy the spaces that of like city council, because a lot of people don't realize how much your city councilmen and your aldermen do for you on a local level, right? It's our part to run for these offices that obviously are not doing what they're supposed to do. It's our part to participate in the process of rebuilding because it's necessary. You know, right now we're all being homeschooled, right? All our kids, for example, when I say rebuild Black education, what most of us right now are not participating in the Department of Education's. Right, exactly. As long as you keep asking for shit, you could be told no. But if you don't ask for anything, you won't be given anything either. So that's the other part of it. I think in the places that we have to ask for, we have to keep asking. And we have to figure out new ways to ask. And we have to make our ask not sound like an ask. It has to be a demand. It has to be put like a question that you can't say no to. For example, if I were to ask you, hey, you believe that Black people are people, right? You gonna say no to that? How you gonna say, I'll wait. If your answer is no to that, then we clearly have a problem and you're somebody that doesn't need to participate in this new system moving forward, right? Because these are clear-cut questions. You need to ask, we need to ask, but we also need to ask in a way that is a demand. You know, I never saw none of these barbecue Beckies ask if they were right or if it was justified in the terror and the trauma that they pushed on other people. You know, they didn't ask anybody. They just demanded that this be taken care of. Why? Because they believed unwaveringly that they were right. And I think it's time, like it's very important. I think the another role that Black people have a part in America is reminding ourselves that we are capable of living outside of that system or of creating new systems for ourselves that actually work to our benefit, right? We don't think about what we already have. Like I moved my kids out of their charter school into a small Black homeschooling program before COVID even happened, right? Because we were already unsatisfied with the way that our children were sometimes being disciplined or taught to. My son has developmental delays. So he has what's known as an independent education program, an IEP in New York. And IEPs are for kids that have, like, they're a little bit slower. They used to call it special. They used to have special ed classes, right? When I was a kid in public school. So like kids that were slower or somewhere on the spectrum, but not fully mentally disabled, they had a special class that was smaller. They got powers to, like, help them with their learning delays. And then when charter schools were introduced, those special services started to disappear from public schools. So now in the charter school program, what they do is, if you have an IEP for your child, they do have parents on hand, and you do develop an education. You and the school develop an education program for your child that still lets them be on track with all of these goals that are set. The thing is that the educational system is now now a testing system. It's no longer really an educational system, right? It's built on test scores. Your markers of achievement now and what are built on test scores, on statewide and citywide testing, not on how well or how eloquently you can dissect or defend an idea, how much information you can extract from a text. Can you ask the right questions to extract as much information as possible that's actually valuable? Or are you just learning meaningless facts to remember and then take a test and pass? I don't know. So anyway, getting back to my son with this IEP, we pulled him out. We pulled him out before COVID even happened. So by the time COVID was starting to happen, it was already like, yeah, we're staying with this, with homeschooling, right? And the thing about this homeschool is that not only is it run by parents who were educators, but they employed, in this homeschool system, they employ other Black parents of the community that have certain skill sets that can be taught, like electronics or plumbing or gardening or cooking or fitness, dance, like any area of life, not just specific subjects that may or may not help you. Because here's another thing that we don't think about when we're talking about education, especially education of Black people. Since they took out vocational training in high school, there's been a significant drop in the employment, the post-high school employment, or the post-high school educational experience of Black people. And, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not doing that. If you don't believe me, you can go Google it yourself. I'm not here to show you facts and figures. I'm here to just talk to you real, talk to you plain, and make it accessible, because this is a conversation, right? That's the other thing about education. If you're not able to go to college, some of these conversations about liberation, some of the liberation work will cut you out of it. And it's us regular people that also that the movement for liberation heavily depends on. What we do, the choices that we make for ourselves. So anyway, one of the best things, and I've always said this since I was young, is to learn a skill, right? Learn a skill or a trade, because trade, that's why most black and brown people go to some type of trade school, right? We learn electronics, we learn plumbing, we learn medical billing, we learn all of the things that let a society run. So we could always be gainfully employed or always open our own business, right? We can't. But then do we teach it to other people? Do we pass it on? Right? Black culture is very much built on the tradition, especially oral traditions, of passing on your knowledge from one generation to the next. That's why we always, in every area of the world, when you look at indigenous cultures, whether they're on the African continent, the Asian continent, or the southern, Central and South American continents, we always live in groups that include our elders. Our elders have the knowledge to help us survive, and then we add on to their knowledge and expand that. So now here we are in a place where in America, we are living in a generation of the most highly educated and self-sufficient group of Black people to have lived on this earth ever. So why is it that we still need to not run our own schools? Why can't we start our own schools for real? Why can't 10 or 20, 10 people in the same neighborhood say, oh, well, I know how, I'm really great at math. I know math, all the math. And I know all the science, or I know all of this area of science, or I know all of this. Why can't we create our own schools? Like, we have the areas, we have the tools, we have, what are we waiting for? That's the other thing. We need to stop waiting. The thing I was reading today about, like, jealousy being like fear, a lot of people are looking to get what somebody else has. Don't why don't look for what they want. Don't want for what they got, because you already got it. We already possess a lot of the things we need. We're just waiting for somebody else to give it to us. Why? Because we're so still caught up in these capitalist systems that say X, Y, and Z. All I'm saying is that, like, another thing, millions of people are about to become homeless. Millions. And why is that? Capitalism. Because capitalism demands X, Y, and Z. And I was watching, again, I was on Instagram. It was a great meme that kind of just put it into this context of, well, damn, this is another form of imperialism, right? Because look, back in medieval times, you had a king, and then you had, the dukes and the duchesses or whatever, and lords. Lords all had plants where they had serfs, and your serfdom was us, the little workers on the bottom, right? Boop, boop, boop. The serfs are what made the manor or that lord successful or not. So now it's like, oh, my lord needs my capital, but I can't give him capital because there's no work for the serfs. And so now the lord is suffering. And the lord suffers, then so does the duke. And if the duke suffers, then that's a blight on the king. And now all the serfs are in danger. Just saying. This is all historical shit. It's been happening over and over and over throughout time. So, like, all we got to do is pay attention. Yep. And we shouldn't be discounting people for how it is they manage their mental health. I just, I love whenever I'm doing a show, I'm talking to somebody, or even when, like, in talking afterwards, the judgment that we automatically put on people because we see what they do. So, the minute I lit this blunt, I lost 2 people watching. Because suddenly, apparently, you can't take me seriously with this blunt in my hand. And it's just an example, right? This is what we do in regular life. And we find out that Johnny drinks. Now Johnny has another, right? Every time you find out a habit of somebody, you judge that person. You realize that we judge people not based on that person, on who that person is. We always judge people based on the experience we had with their trait or their vice. For example, there was a time in my life where I did shit tons of cocaine. Like, for a couple years, right? Because I was going through some shit. And I had to, that was just how I helped to deal with it. How I was able to function through it, because those types of drugs are like, cocaine is this type of drug where, like, it numbs you emotionally, and at least for me, it numbs me emotionally, and it allowed me to mentally be able to still be cognizant and present in my life without having to deal with the intense pain of the trauma I was working through, that I had to keep living through, right? We don't get the chance to just be depressed, right? We always got to work through our depression, work through our anxiety. We gotta keep living our lives. I never had the chance, especially because I'm also a mom. I didn't have the chance to just, like, spend 10 days in bed. I would have lost my apartment. My kids would have been out on the street. They would have starved. I started to get up and go to work. So the way I did that I did that by doing cocaine. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not recommending it to anybody, and I don't do it anymore. So calm your little asses down. It worked for me at that time. But I'm also different. I have a lot of things instilled in me mentally and spiritually that other people don't have. So when people talk about moderation, I am a moderation person. I can do things in moderation. When I don't, it's a choice. And I think that's another part of it that I'm going to come back to. Thank you for sending the messages, Prince Nasheen. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're saying too. But my point is, so I did this thing and somebody found out, and immediately, even though we were in this beautiful, even though like we were great friends, suddenly overnight, everything that was great about me then faded away and became nothing because they found out about this one thing I had done. Because they found out I had been using coke. And suddenly, I was not the person that I always had been to them. Suddenly, I was the experience of that they had with cocaine and their parents, right? Because their mom was like a really, really just despicable person and always on drugs as well, right? So her hardship of life experience got transferred to me because of this one habit of mine. It's not fair. It's not right. But that's what we do when we only operate from our feelings. If you never resolved your past trauma and then you want to, and then somebody comes to you and they even they have the smallest attribute of somebody who hurt you in your past, it triggers all of that repressed trauma. And you don't realize it, but the lens that you now paint that person with is the lens of your trauma, not the lens of that person's personality. You no longer see the person for who they are. And these are things that we need to think about moving forward, right? Why has white supremacy stayed in place for so long? Here's a thought. White people were taught things about black people that black people never contested. And white people never contested. And as black people contest them in themselves with each other, yeah, it doesn't matter. White people will keep seeing each other with the lens of the past. They'll keep seeing us with the lens of their experience and their life experience. If you don't interact with black people regularly or have any intimate, friendships or relationships with people of color, and you live in a town where like you never really see black people in life, where do you get your information? TV, media, the internet. So again, if all you see and all you hear is black people or this, that, and third, or all you see in the imagery in the media or in news and whatever in the little bumfuck town that you're in is a certain narrative about black people and brown people, then when you meet us in person, if we even do one thing, like have black skin that reminds you of that black drug dealer that you saw on TV, now we're all drug dealers. And it doesn't matter if you're president of the United States or if you're a successful business person, if you're a bum on the corner, people will always apply their life experience to you by the thing that you trigger with whatever your quality is. Just like people don't want to admit this shit, but you should, because it's very healing to allow yourself to open your mind to the fact that when we operate from our feelings and only from our feelings, we are not actually giving people the benefit of the doubt and allowing them to be who they are. We're not seeing them as they are. We are seeing them as we think they are because of this thing that we cap. I don't know. So how are you out there in the world? I'm all right. Brooklyn is nice. Brooklyn is nice. It's kind of chilly. I'm really excited because this week Soul Rebel is coming to visit. She is doing some tattoos at the house. And I have put the link up. If you want the link, you can also just hit me up on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitch, on Periscope. If you're in Brooklyn and you want to get an appointment with Soul Rebel while she's here, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this week, she will be here. She's not here right now because she is doing a tattoo in Harlem. So our interview had to be pushed back a little bit. She might come on later. I might, who knows? I'll probably just, bring it up later. But I can show you what she did for me last time she was here. She added this beautiful piece to my back. Here we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. No. Okay. There we go. That's how it came out. It's beautiful. No. Yes. So yeah, she did that beautiful piece for me. It's very quality, and she does great things with brown skin. You know what I mean? I wish we could have talked to her today, but next time. There's always the next time, guys, because I'm here every Wednesday, every Thursday. I'm sorry, every Monday and every Wednesday, Monday and Wednesday, 7 p.m. Always here. Wednesday we'll be talking to my long friend, J Don the real J Don Woodward is oh my god, he's an incredibly prolific MC. I think possibly one of the best MCs I've ever heard in my entire life. That is I know it's a very heavy compliment. And you don't have to believe me. I'm not here for anybody. I'm not here to fight with anybody about anything. Okay, I just want to get that clear, because that to me is a part of the ClapBack. I'm not trying to fight with anybody about things I know to be true just because we don't agree, right? And that's the thing about truth that we all have to also understand. Truth is perspective. It's a perspective thing, right? My truth can coexist with your truth because we have two different perspectives. We see things from both sides. There was a really great quote somebody said to me a long time, and I always keep this one close to the heart. It says there's 3 versions of the truth. There are 3 sides to every truth. Your side, my side, and what actually happened. Think about that. Think about that for a second, and I'm gonna marinate. I don't know if I have anything else to talk about this now. I want to give you guys some music to chill on for a second. So I'm bringing up some music. Yeah, I am. Because every Monday, to get your money right, you wanna make sure that you are just doing everything you can to attract everything you can. So ooh. All right. I got a couple playlists, and one of my favorite playlists is what else? It actually does not include me. I thought it did, but it's funny, right? I would think, no, it doesn't include you. Ugh. How's your new year going? All right, I wanna give you. Oh man, I just found this great one I haven't seen in a while. This is really old. Oh wow. So here we go. 4 years ago, back when I had friends, I like to say shit like that because it's true. But I haven't been able to sing with a band for a minute, so this is a throwback. I did some original songs, some Nina Simone covers. I believe this is a Funkadelic at Funkadelic. This might have been one of the great telenovelas, Poet Will Be Televised things, anniversary. So happy 2016. Mississippi, and I mean every word of it. Alabama, Tennessee, baby, lose my wrist. And I don't know about Mississippi, Alabama got me so upset. Tennessee, my rest. Everybody knows about this. Tennessee, it's all yeah. I can't stand the pressure much longer. Somebody say a prayer. I mean, Alabama's got me so upset. First they made me lose my rest. Everybody goes out Carolina. See, this is the show hasn't written it yet. Or maybe the show hasn't written it. We've been living in this script. Unscripted lines, people keep living their roles, though. Keep filling their roles, though. Saying this role is not being paid enough, but fuck what you being paid when you are still serving the same master. I mean, that master is just trying to pull us all down anyway. Anyway, I'm not supposed to think about it, not supposed to speak about it, not supposed to breathe, because I can't breathe without freedom is free. Don't be fed me. What's that down? I can't take it no more. Everybody knows, don't nobody want to say shit. Right? Because New Orleans got me so upset. Cleveland had me losing my rest. And everybody knows about birth. Cause it's like, God damn, I said, can't feel it. Can you see it? It's all in the air. I mean, it's all around us there. Feel like I don't really exist anywhere. Like California had me losing my breath. Tennessee got me so upset. And everybody knows about Mississippi. God damn. Said everybody knows about Mississippi. God damn. So while we're talking about black shit, can we can we go into the Use Me Up with Bill Withers? Yeah, we're gonna go into some Bill Withers. Yeah, I like Bill Withers. I like Bill Withers. I like my I had to be comfortable for y'all. In a minute, I'm gonna let my hair down. Dear America, my black is not a costume. There's no removing what is permanent, so no, Rachel and her guilt don't get no passes. And believe me, I ain't mad at her ass. She is nothing more than ash. She is nothing more than straw on my camel's back. And my black is tired of being broken, tired of being the ass of the jokes. Always not funny. It ain't funny how many bodies keep falling at the fault of nobody. Out here, it's just us when we looking for just us. I mean, why? Y'all keep on laughing at me. I don't understand. Yet still, we welcome you with arms wide open into our places of prayer and sanctity. We welcome you like you was family, but you just want to shoot us down pound for pound. We kind of weigh a little bit less. Our lives are a little bit less. Our lives are still worth less to you, but not to me. I mean, I got to build this legacy for my seed. I got to bleed this black every day. Got to live this black every day. So how dare you tell me some shit like reverse racism is real? I'm sorry, Abigail. Please take several fucking seats over there. I mean, I wish I wasn't this angry in 2015 because, there's all sorts of things that's made to look like equality is an actual thing, but still we hearing about people getting murdered being unarmed, and we got a Muslim person having their house being ransacked by media when that shit's never happened before. And then you also want to tell me that they're responsible for a mass shooting that they've also never done before, but every other witness on scene says they saw 3 white males with guns. If Arsenio was still around, we'd all be like, because contrary to popular belief, a lot of us got brains, a lot of us got educated because all of our parents made sure we stayed in school, told us the only thing that we had to do was get good grades, do our homework, be good students, get to another place, to that next level, so that we can compete. But then we get to the next level, compete, see that level, the field is not actually level, the field is still lopsided. So I wish I had words that was well put together. Wish I had words well constructed for you to actually understand. But what I'm understanding is that no matter how much we fight, no matter how much we do, no matter how much we accomplish, even if a man like me achieves the highest state of office, he's still gonna have people in his face talking about, "Fuck out of here." When in the history of Congress, in the history of America, has anybody ever gotten that close to a president, issuing threats, telling them whatever they want to tell them? Never, not never in the history of America has somebody gotten that close to a president. But I'm supposed to accept this, that everything is cool, because Black is in the White House, and it's all good. But he's got to use his executive power just to do some good for the people, and not just my people, for all people. So don't tell me ain't no hidden agendas. Don't tell me I'm overreacting. Don't tell me my shit is bullshit. And I want to spread some news to you. Chicken Little knows the sky is falling, and so what does everybody else? Everybody else already knows the sky is falling. We all on the same page now. Ain't nobody saying, "Oh, she don't know what she's talking about." No, nobody's like that. You know why? Because I won't spread the news. No, it don't feel too good getting used. Oh, you're not gonna get used anyway. No, you won't use me up. You won't use me up. No, you won't use me up. No, you won't use me up. I really like the way that sounds. I'm a little rap person. We'll come back. I got another verse. I'm going to get it right. So, someday, some way, somehow, in my heart, I still believe that there's possibilities for you, me, us, all of us who are different to be on the same page. Here we are the same as human. See, that being is more important than just human, than living. I mean, there's living that we live in, that we live in. We just need to realize that all we got to do is look in. We don't really need to look out, because all the forces outside of us is trying to keep us apart, trying to tell us all the things that we shouldn't do. Like equity, they say equity is not important. It doesn't matter who have a seat at the table, but it kind of does when your voice isn't being heard. I mean, why is it that the headlines these days just seem a little bit repetitive? Over and over, you read the same thing, right? You read the same thing over and over and over again. Ain't you tired? I know I'm tired. I know I got kids and I'm tired of crying. I am tired of trying. I am tired of trying to reach some limit that I just can't seem to get to. So fuck that level, fuck they levels, fuck everything that everybody says that we're not supposed to be. Fuck everything that everybody says is outside of us. Fuck everybody that says that we can actually be anything, that there will never be a we strong enough to overtake these fucking forces of supremacy. I mean, whether the supremacy is through white or through American or through nationality or through religion or whatever you want to give that name to, if there is always something trying to be bigger than you. And ain't shit on this earth that is bigger than you. Ain't shit on this earth that is bigger than me. Ain't shit on this earth that is bigger than we. And I swear that if you and me just got together, that ain't shit that can oppose us. And some days it's kind of like I've been feeling it up for more. Don't feel too good in you. Now you're not gonna keep using me. You won't use me up. You won't use me up. No, you won't use me up. No, you won't use me up. Oh, you won't use me up. I know, right? I feel that same feeling too, guys. I feel your tinkliness. It's different. So I've been feeling away the last couple days, and the last couple days I've been feeling like sick. But I've also been in jury duty and in my bed, just a little super cycling. They just made me feel really sick all the way around. So I'm not going to talk about anything outside myself right now. And if you feel away, then I appreciate it. I've been down this road before, feeling like I can't get out of here. Yeah, I've been down this road before, feeling like I can't get out of here. Some days when I am sitting in the darkness of my home, I mean, no light coming in through any window, every window is blocked off, and maybe that's my bad. Maybe I put a little bit too much faith in my shit. Maybe I put a little bit too much faith in other people. Maybe I am just lost to society. I'm not really sure. I mean, this fight I go through daily, they say it's depression. I say, nah, not me. That can't happen to me. No way, no how. There's no way that I am fighting such a demon. I mean, ain't nothing gonna stop me from my scheme, and I'm always scheming on a way to get bigger, to get bolder, to keep going in life. So there's no way that I could possibly be depressed. This monster with no face, that's faceless, but it's still in my face, trying to take over my body, trying to take over my spirit, trying to tell me who I am, or trying to tell me who I'm not. When all I can see when I look in the mirror is a sad girl trying to reach back to the greatness that she knows is inside her, trying to reach into the greatness inside of her, pull it out bit by bit, and die. I've been down this road before. I've been down this road before. I've been down this road before. I've been down this road before, and I promise that darkness ain't gonna take me. I don't care if I gotta call on the winds of the east, the west, the north, the south to save me. Someone's gonna save me, and it's probably just gotta be me. Because, you know, most days people don't call and check in on me. I don't return text messages or emails or Facebook statuses. Sometimes I don't update my Facebook status, and it's only after a week that people be like, yo, you okay? Not realizing I ain't got Facebook as a motherfucking app. So any message you send me, I'm not seeing it until I check that shit through my, browser. Either way, it don't matter. matter because it's just me in this place, in this darkness that's trying to take hold of my heart, trying to get hold of my heart, tell me that I need to stop before I actually start. Don't realize I'm halfway to my goal, ain't shit gonna stop me. I know where I need to be, I know where I wanna end up, and ain't nothing gonna stop me. So no darkness, you will not take me. This demon called depression, they can keep on pressing. I don't give a fuck what it thinks it's gonna get from me, but it ain't getting shit from me today. I've been down this road before. I can't ignore these feelings coming on. Say I don't have enough, what it takes to be strong. But I'm not scared, I got warriors in my heart, they all behind me. I know that everything I need is inside me. I know everything inside me. So I'm saying this to anybody that's ever been in the place that I am. Because sometimes we're just a little bit too ashamed to admit exactly where we're at. Sometimes we're just a little bit too ashamed to say, hey, I need your help. I need you to check up more often. I need you to call me more often. I need you to knock on my door, pull me out my bed, and take me to the light. Saying, hey, sometimes this darkness is too strong for me to fight alone. I know that I am not alone in this fight. So follow voice and maybe somebody else will have the strength. The strength to get up, the strength to get going, the strength to see that they are God. That God is possible inside them or inside you was on that thing is right. And I've been down before. Yeah. I've been down before. Just say now I've been down this road before, but now I'm gonna close that door. Close that door. Just close that door. We'll close that door. That's pretty much it for that. Go. So I partially lied. That song isn't like freestyle, but it's something I've been like fucking around with for a while, and I'm glad it could come together here in front of y'all. And you can let me do that for y'all. So what I need you right now, everybody in the audience, I need you to turn to your neighbor. I need you to say, neighbor. I don't know about you, but I came here to party. And then I need you to turn to your other neighbor and say, neighbor. Neighbor, is you ready to party? Because I came here to party. Yeah? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? You ask both of your neighbors. I don't know about you, but I came here to party. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. I don't know about you, I came here to party. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. With somebody. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. With somebody. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. Situation right now is turned up. On a Wednesday, you know that I don't really give a fuck. I had drinks to this, but I've been drinking not Chris. I've been drinking whiskey and shit, so I'm not a miss. I mean, yo, like to hear loose. Just have fun, true. That's word, that backward to black truth. I say shit, you love it, I love it. I don't really care what I'm loving. Cause I don't know about you, but I came to party. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. I don't know about you, but I came to party. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. With somebody. Move your body. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. Have a party. Move your body. Have a drink and have fun with somebody. It's okay if you dance, even if it's in your chair. Happy birthday to the poet, to Ado, to Worthen, to Cryptella, and we're having some things to do. She wakes up early morning just to do her hair now, because she cares now. Her day wouldn't be right without her makeup. She's just like you and me, but she's homeless. She's homeless. And she sat there singing for money. La la dee la 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 dee la 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 dee la la dee la la dee la dee.
Hello. Hey. It's been forever. How you doing? I can't hear you. I don't know.
Nah, that's me. I forgot to unmute my mic. What's up, homie?
Hey. It's so nice to see you. It's been like too long. I'm so glad that we got to collab in the beginning of the year. I don't know if you can hear me with this mask.
We can sort of hear you. Yeah, that's better.
Why
Hey,
can't I hear you?
there's your beautiful face.
What's wrong with the connection?
Ah! Oh no, that happened. Okay, so that wasn't So Rebel, but that was my homegirl, homie, Theano Goddess. And she's also a phenomenal musician, and she's been sharing her fitness online. Here you go. Connection is everything these days. Can you hear us now?
Aw, thanks, girl. I was loving your show. I'm like, the fact that COVID got shows canceled left and right, it's just so organic to watch a performance with a live band and just to see, you as an artist just putting in that work.
Thank you. I miss that. I miss stages. I miss performing and stuff. But this is why I started this show, kind of, because I feel like I've been a part of an artist community. I've been a part of a community of people that like really have been doing things their own way, just living in a straight ClapBack. Like, yo, fuck it. You said I can't do this now. I'm gonna do it.
I
And you're one of
know.
those people. So thanks for hopping on, you know what I mean, to talk to
Yeah,
us.
for sure.
Happy birthday early.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Another year, I thank God that I'm alive and that I can just continue to keep doing my art. So I'm just so happy.
For the folks who don't know you, like I know you, can you share your art? Like talk to us about your art. What's popping? What do you do, and what's popping off with it this year now? Like,
Right. Thank you for the space. I'm Diana. Taino Goddess. Pocahontas is my artist name. I've been working and writing music since I was like 13 years old. So this is something that it's not new to me. And this year I'm working on a project that I've written and recorded all of the songs so far. And the next step now is Park is getting into, come, let me pick you up. Is getting into the part of, wait 1 second, where I'm doing the videos and I actually just directed and produced and did the wardrobe and the makeup, and found the location to my new song that I'm gonna be putting out sometime tomorrow. Which
Nice.
yeah,
Nice.
so yes, and this is my executive producer. I also work with kids.
Hey,
He helped fund the project. Is my friend Miles.
hey, Miles. He's
And
so
he is just,
beautiful.
hi Miles. Hey, and he's just so
Hey.
sweet. He's literally been helping me with just my creativity. We have so much fun, and you know, now me having this opportunity, I'm able to do more creative, artistic things because I finally have a budget for it. So I'm just so happy. So thank you,
Sweet.
Miles.
The project, I see that like you have a necessary magic. I remember
Yes.
it talking to me. Is that the project that you're releasing tomorrow? You're doing now?
No, so tomorrow is going to be a freestyle from Smokahanis. It's a freestyle of something I wrote almost 7 years ago. It's like one of my realest freestyles ever. It's something that I still come back to these days, although I wrote it so long ago. It holds my it reminds me of where I've been, and for me not to forget why I do this.
Mm.
So I that for that is why I'm like, I don't care how long ago I wrote it. It's time for me to share it to the world. So,
Right. Because this really is the time. I feel like this is the time for people to just do things. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about how it's going to be received.
mhm,
Don't think about it. Don't doubt it. Just do it. Do it
just
because
do
you
it.
can do it. Because there was a time we couldn't do it. You know what I mean? The
Exactly.
time like we didn't have this tool. Like I feel like, I've always known lots of different people. So like Clapback Queens and Kings is really about like sharing all these stories and all these amazing.
Yeah.
I know. Talk to us about necessary magic. What is that?
Right. Because mhm.
That's how I know you. You and I be bonding about the magic shit, and
Yeah.
talking about all of these natural ways to kind of still live your best life.
Mhm.
So what? Tell us about necessary magic.
Exactly. So necessary magic is that it's within the words. It's necessary magic. It started with me trying to really get in tune with my self love and self care in a place where I would have to take myself responsible for doing my self love and self care. So that's how I began with the page. I wanted it to be a place where I could highlight all of the self care and self care rituals that I do for myself on a regular basis, for me to just maintain my spirituality, to remain goddess. I need my little baths, I need my meditation, I need my time with myself, and just basically educating beginners who are interested into learning more about spirituality and just the practice of self-care. You're never too old to get into self-care. Some of us can be young or older, and we didn't take the time to love ourselves, and there's no
Mm,
better time than now. So even with kids, I'm showing them necessary magic, teaching them about breath, teaching them about meditation, about using their words to say how they feel,
mm.
So, and
Matter of fact, earlier today, I was just talking about that. That's what the meditation I read for today was. I honor my feelings no matter what they are. You know,
yeah,
like when you honor your feelings no matter what it is, by just using your words, how much, how that changes everything.
it
You
does,
know?
because it validates how you feel. And we have to be able to validate our feelings and to be able to tell other people how we feel. So necessary magic is so big. So I've been like trying to go at it in little small measures, because I know the overall of what it is. It's a movement. It's not like a brand. I'm not trying to get money. Of course we all trying to live, but it's a movement to me. So this year I'm going to be showing a lot more of that. I'm actually working on a box that is like a subscription monthly box for your spirituality. It's going to be all priced at, affordable pricing for you to have your candles and your necessary smudging things that you need. And every month we're going to have like a topic of what we are trying to fix and build with ourselves. And I also want it to be community based. so that we have other women and goddesses that can speak upon how they're doing currently at their journey, because we're all in different stages. We're all in different stages, and no one is in a place, like, I don't know, learning and healing. We're all at the same pace, although we're at different stages. So I feel that we need a community that's non-judgmental, sweet, caring, kind of like how me and you are. I got love for you forever. You know what I'm saying? We connect as being women, you know and that's deep. Like, I wish for Necessary Magic to have just all women to be able to connect, and to kind of just, like, I feel like there's something when it comes to spirituality, as if there can only be one goddess, and I think that's whack. And we all should embrace within our goddess, because we all are goddess.
Word. God is
So,
everybody.
yeah,
Like,
everybody.
I was just watching that. Like, part of the reason I've been like playing my old videos is like I don't know how many people have ever actually seen me
Seen
perform.
it exactly, and,
You know,
and I
sometimes I
didn't.
haven't
So
even
that was a
actually seen
treat.
it. I just like know it's there, so I
Yeah.
just never watch it.
No,
Wow.
hold up. We're not doing that, okay? So that was one thing. And then, so another aspect, I've been working on this lash company, because I wear lashes all the time, and it's just something that is unnecessary to me. So I literally went on a quest finding good lashes, and I found a lash that lasted me 3 months. One pair of lash
Wow.
lasted me 3 months, from June to September. I'm like, these lashes went from New York to Florida to LA. Like, oh my gosh, like, I need to invest in this. And I want to show women about it. So that's what I'm working on currently. So I'm getting all of that stuff situated, but I want it to all be at the right time.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want it to be like, business, like, oh, I'm trying to start 2021, getting money from everyone. Let me start all my businesses and stuff. No, it's all going to happen fluid. It's going to happen how it happens,
Right. Because
so
you can't force things to happen before they should.
no.
You know,
So that's
that's
why.
how you mess up the process. Like that a part of like to me surrendering to your process is like just doing it and not not like questioning every step of it, because if
Yeah.
you're always stopping yourself, like when do you ever really finish?
Right. And
You know?
when do you ever have that real confidence to be like, no, what I'm doing is good because I have faith in it, because I allow God to use itself through me, through my art. So I have to be there to be able to say, hey, I don't know what it's like, but I know that the faith of why I'm supposed to be doing this. Okay. Last time.
All right. Well,
Last
thank
time.
you. I'm gonna let you go because I gotta hop onto I gotta hop into a Zoom.
Right? Like, seriously, I know. I thought that 10 o'clock. I thought it was gonna be at 10 o'clock, but that's not LA time. LA is 3 hours before, not 3 hours after. So that's where I messed up.
It's all right. We can still talk then and like play it later. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or we
yeah.
can set it up for another day at 10. Because I'm always up over here. Like I'm all
Mm-hmm.
for the late night talks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm always up over here. I don't know what it is about time, but I seem to like live outside of time right now.
Yeah, me too. It doesn't exist. It's not real. And you gotta know that. And when you do, you just start creating more, and you don't think of this as you see it's illusion. No, that was.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming
Mm-hmm.
through for a second.
Of course.
And
Thank
we're
you for
gonna look
having
out
me.
for the name of the song. What's dropping tomorrow? The name of it?
So tomorrow is called Lightwork Freestyle. Yeah, the hook is like, if you can handle my light work, then I wouldn't have to do light work. It might work.
Wow.
So stay tuned. I can't wait to share it with you.
Yes. And that's on all
Okay.
platforms.
It's gonna be. I'm just doing it as a video. I wanted to do something different, something for the fans to be like, nah, this is just a free video for you guys to stream. It's finally in the perfect, it's production wise, was done correctly. It's time to make masterpieces. you can't, you know what I mean? So I invested on this one, and I can't wait to share.
All right, bet. Thank you. Peace, God.
Peace,
Bye,
God.
Miles. Nice to
Much
meet
love. Say
you.
bye, Miles. Miles. Say ciao.
Bye. Nice meeting you, buddy.
Ciao.
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 Yo, thank you again for coming through. See, yo, that's all. Honor your feelings, man. Say how you feel. Admit to it. Respect, respect this how others feel, and let it be. Like be. This is how we all get along. That's all I can say about that. But look out for a new video, light work freestyle by Smoke Hondas. I might be back later. I'm gonna tell you why. If I come back, I'll tell you why I came back. How about that? All right. Again, thank you so much for watching. On Wednesday, we'll be talking to John Woodward. John Woodward is gonna be chit-chatting with us about all things life, art, and hip-hop. I'm so excited for that talk, y'all, because like I said, when it comes to like music, I love hip-hop because it's all about the words, right? Most people don't know. And shout out to Dale Novella of the poet Dale Novella Lee Anderson Lee. Yeah, wow. So shout out to her because she taught me that rap is an acronym for rhythm and poetry, and I was like, word, that makes so much more sense, and I hope I taught you something new. And anyway, many of y'all know me. I'm a poet, and I just love words. I have a love of words. And lyricism is it. So like, yeah, I think he's like one of the greatest lyricists I've ever met. Like freestyler, the way he thinks, but also what he says. Storyteller extraordinaire. So we're going to be talking all things hip hop and art and life with Jadon Woodard on Wednesday at 7. I might come back tonight. I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe not. I'm going to paint. Until then, Patreon, man. Patreon, Venmo, Cash App to you. And keep being yourself because everybody else is taken. See, this is what happened when I talk for like half an hour. I talked to myself and to y'all. And I don't want to leave you. I want to give you more, but I don't have anything to give you personally. So if I get what I'm looking for after I make this snack, I will talk to you. I hope you will come back on Wednesday. And yeah, I'll stop embarrassing myself today. That's right. Be kind and patient with yourself and each other. And keep being yourself because everybody else is taken. The God should go